And all eyes continue to be on Micah Parsons as negotiations for a contract extension remain at a standstill. Team owner Jerry Jones said he would not trade Parsons after the edge rusher made his trade request public on August 1st. Here's what our Marcus Spears had to say about that situation yesterday.
The new age and the new athlete and the strength of his agent, and this conversation tells me that he may very well sit out for this season. It feels like it's become a contest between who has the mettle and the resolve to see this out the way that they foresee it being played out. And eventually, usually in the league, this happens and you get paid and everything moves on. This just feels a little bit different to me, guys.
It does feel very stuck, right? Like something has to change. What would have to change to move this situation forward?
Well, I think Dallas would really have to feel like he's going to miss a lot of games. And just again, for the audience, he's going to have to be there for at least 6 games to get credit towards free agency. But if we go back to Jalen Ramsey in Jacksonville, where he basically held in, manufactured an injury, forced a trade to the Rams, and the rest is history. So to me, if we were running the Cowboys, guys, he's a great young player. We would never consider trading him unless we really felt like he was going to miss most of the season and withhold his services. Short of that, Graz, I think you just have to be patient and wait it out.
Well, sure, but there is a game, right, in 20 days, and it's against the Eagles. It's a game they have to win. He's their best player. Like, even if he signed, like, next week, is that enough time for him to get ready to play in the opener?
Yeah, my guess is it's probably enough time for Micah Parsons to be really effective. But I think what would happen is we start to get concerned about injury risk, right? And I think the closer we get to the season, the more likely it is that a smart team will be like, all right, well, we'll push it back even if he does sign. So I don't quite understand how we've gotten to this situation, and none of us, I mean, all the usual reasons for us getting here don't seem to add up. This is not the type of player or the type of situation that we end up like this. So I think there's more going on that we don't understand.
Yeah, indeed, to that point, we had that with Darrelle Revis. We had a holdout, we got him signed, and then he went out and got hurt against the Patriots, and it was so deflating. So it's really something they have to be thinking about.
That does happen. I mean, these situations, even when they get resolved, there's still some leftover bad blood, and you know, what we're talking about in terms of the injury risk. Like, what do the next couple weeks look like here?
Yeah, listen, I think there's got to be some type of deadline here where if you don't sign the player, that he's not available for week 1. Again, these guys have touched upon it. There's nothing like there's only one way to get into football shape, and that's play football. If you're not out there practicing with the pads on, even if you sign a contract, you run the risk of getting injured. And so there has to be some type of hard deadline between the Cowboys and Micah Parsons. Say, look, if we don't get this thing resolved by this time.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Let me say hello to Lady Libra, who's on both channels. Shout out to you. Let's see, Roland's Review. What's up, Roland? How are you doing? Jeff Lee, my name is Jeff. What's going on, Jeff? Jeff's been in here hitting the like button, commenting. Appreciate you very, very much. What's up, Chris? How are you doing? Lovely Linda in the house. What's up, Linda? The most fair and balanced Eagle fan out there. And Alan Williams, what's going on? Terrence, how you doing? PTAH31, don't know who that is, but welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. Bills Mafia, Eagles 40, Cowboys 18. Damn. And somebody up in here farting. Come on, man. And Dan was on Law's show earlier. Got to say, it was exhilarating to be on there. Excitement level was pretty high. No joke. Well, with Eagle fans, they're pretty high, too. They are sky high right now. Dwayne Sweeney, how are you doing today? I have to say, I was on... Personally, let me say something personally here today, because today's been a rough day, because today is my father's birthday, and this is the first year that I don't have my father to call him up and say happy birthday, Dad, and it's been kind of hard, and I think the last couple of days I've been feeling kind of down. And with the whole situation with Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones being a jackass and not getting that thing done, and all of the things that, it's one thing to suspect that somebody's cheating on you, right? It's one thing to think that maybe they are, but then it's the reality of actually hearing and knowing for sure what you believed is actually true. We've always believed that Jerry Jones is not really caring about winning, that it's all about the drama, right? We've all thought that. But he literally told you, you know what? Hey, I'm cheating on you. That's literally what it felt like with Jerry Jones. Let me see. Do I have it? Let's go to the tape here. Oh, let's get this, because this is the moment that you found out you're being cheated on. That you know for sure. You know for sure.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The beautiful thing for networks or, if you will, streaming companies is that the NFL is a 365-day-a-year interest factor. A lot of programming, you have to spend as much to make it, to promote it, as you do to make it. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365 days.
The streaming will begin.
When it gets slow, I'll start here.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion. And if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
That's literally like going out in the middle of the night to your truck and finding your woman in there with another dude. That's literally, I mean, I can't, your mind is just blown that you are literally seeing this happen right there in your truck in the middle of the night in front of your house. Okay, that's never happened to me. I saw that actually. I saw a video where dude was finding out that his woman was inside back in the truck, middle of the night, caught with her pants down and his pants down in front of his house. But this is Jerry Jones telling you, I do this stuff to stir it up for attention because it's a business. We are a soap opera. Damn. We just caught him with his panties down. I think David M. is failing Micah. I think his ego is wounded. Jerry said he didn't know who the agent's name. But hold on. How can you blame the agent when the owner won't even talk to him? How do you blame the agent when the owner won't even talk to him? Sorry, that one does not hold water for me, where you can say that it's the agent's fault. Listen. If, I might be able to say, okay, maybe there's some validity. In the same way, see like this. In the same way, people always say it's Dak Prescott's fault that we haven't won a Super Bowl. I would buy that argument if, since Troy Aikman, that, maybe Tony Romo won one or two or something like that. Alan Williams, I'm sorry, Alan, thank you very much for wishing my dad a happy birthday. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Alan. I kind of got caught with Jerry Jones with his panties down there for a second, and I lost my thought. But you understand the drift of what I'm saying is, it's one thing to suspect in the back of your mind, you're thinking something. But it's another when they come out and just tell you. He's telling you. And it's not the first time, because he's told us, I like to stir shit up. I guess he's at the point where now it's like, you know what? I don't care what I'm doing is wrong. I don't care that I am hurting you. I got no fear. What's going to happen to me? You think I'm on, with the $12.83 billion that my team is worth, that it's going to hurt me? I got 2 helicopters, a his and a hers. I got a 320-foot-long yacht. I got more money than my great-great-great-grandkids will ever spend. Hey, you know what? Listen, you're a flea. Yes, I'm bending you over and screwing you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Mark, why don't you go to your boss and demand more money, but you're not going to work? Let's see how that happens. Okay, but see, Gerald, we're not talking about an everyday job. Because, see, here's what you have to say is, Micah Parsons is the top of the top. So, Gerald, are you the best in the world at your job? Let me ask you that. Are you the best in the world or top 5 in the world of what you do? Because when in a multi-billion-dollar industry, there's a difference there when you cannot be replaced, Gerald. See, if I worked for somebody other than myself, and I went to them and said, hey, you know what? They can find somebody else to replace Mark Holmes in a minute. You don't want to? No problem. If Jerry Jones could replace Micah Parsons with somebody, he would have told him to go pound sand. But the reality is, you can't. Oh, Gerald. Dak Prescott is an average quarterback, is no Tom Brady or Joe Montana. But since I want to touch on something. Bobby Schumer, Dallas offense will be good for fantasy football. That I can tell you that. I can agree with you on that one. Dak Prescott will be great for fantasy football. But here's something that's kind of interesting to me. And I brought this up today when I was on the Dan Saleo show, which, mind you, they gave me a little bit of hope for the Cowboys in that game because everything is not as beautiful as you Eagle fans try to portray. There's some real problems in Philadelphia right now, okay? There's some real problems. But just hold on for a second here. I want to say, in Tony Romo's career, okay, he averaged 241 yards a game, which is a lot of yards per game. And pretty much it was, we were going to win because of Tony Romo or lose because of Tony Romo, because the whole game was put on him. The best year of Tony Romo's career, a year that we should have been at least in the NFC Championship game, was when we had DeMarco Murray and he rushed for 1,800 yards. That year, Tony Romo had the most TDs and least interceptions of his career, but didn't even throw for 4,000 yards. Statistically, it was the best season of his career, and they were balanced. So over the course of Dak Prescott's career, he's averaged 253 yards a game. If we just take the last 5 years, he's had to average 270 yards, and he's had a 99.3 rating, and that's with last year, as bad as it was, and 2 years before that, where he broke his thumb, a 99.3. I know what you're saying. Okay, big deal. But here's the thing. When you look at what Jalen Hurts had, Jalen Hurts averages 190 yards passing a game. 190. Great running attack. His rating is only a 93. Dak Prescott literally has to pay 80 yards more a game, basically making up for the lack of a running game. And the more you become one-dimensional, the tougher it is, especially when you're throwing to guys who can't get open. So for those out there that are saying, well, Dak just sucks, he just sucks. Jalen Daniels only had to pass 209 yards per game. 209 yards. Daniel Jones, 202. That makes a difference in your game planning, which is one of the reasons why Lamar Davis, oh my God, Lamar Davis became a channel member. Oh shit. Bobby became Micah has a bad back. Trade him, Jerry. Right. Yeah. Shout out to Bobby and Lamar Davis. Email me at cowboysmark94 Gmail so I can get you your shot glass and your Mojo football. Okay. All right. Peace. I'll try and get you a shot glass that's not cowboy themed. How about that one? Okay. Appreciate that. Always love having more channel members and the super chat. Appreciate you. Oh, Mark, and what has it gotten Dak? Nothing. Grit, you just missed the damn point, buddy. You just missed the point. You are 100% right. What has it gotten Jerry Jones? Terrence 930, another channel member. If I had my gong here, it'd be ding, 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 ding. You too. Go ahead, because see, what'll happen is, look, we'll send you a box like this. Oh, this one's empty. Hold up. In that box, you get a shot glass. I think, Lamar, I can send you this one. It's a Joe Boostar and Spread the Mojo. And a squeeze football, okay? Yeah. Send out for our new channel members. Appreciate you. You're missing the point on this. My point being is Jalen Hurts doesn't have to throw the ball, but on average 23 times a game. The offense is balanced. Defensive linemen, edge rushers, they get up there. Are they passing the football or are they going to run the football? Which one are they going to do? Because it's two opposite things, okay? Let me try and explain something to you, okay? All right, I played offensive guard, left guard in high school, okay? In college, I played nose guard, okay? I love pass rushing. I loved it, okay? Because when I knew that I'm rushing the quarterback, I am looking at that football, and as soon as that ball snapped, I am doing my move. Whether it's a swim move, whether it's a jab step, dip and rip, if it's a bull rush, or if I'm shooting the gap. I am thinking about that because that's my chance to be aggressive. If I know it's a run, then it's totally different. With a read and react defense, grab a hold of the center, okay, get a hold of his body, figure out which way he's trying to turn you, and then fight pressure, which is defensive, okay? If you find out, if you're playing the run first, okay, and you're grabbing a hold of the body, and then he's setting up for pass blocking, now I've lost about a second of time that I could have made my move. Now I got to think about react now and try and do a move, which means you're less effective. So having that doubt, if you are a linebacker, and you got Saquon back there who is getting 4 or 5 yards a carry, then my first reaction is take a step forward so that way I can be able to meet pressure with pressure, okay? And if it's a pass and I'm stepping forward, I'm getting sucked in. Now I've got to stop and go backpedal to get into the route. If the defense knows you are one-dimensional, Jay Smooth, what's going on? Clint, 193, how you doing? Kiana Gibson, Miss Gibson, woohoo, another one of our lovely ladies. Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. That's the difference of why play action works. Because you're making it look like a run, the linebacker's getting sucked in there, and you're actually passing the ball. It makes people hesitate. So, if Dak Prescott is throwing 270 yards a game, and you've got Mike McCarthy who's throwing the ball about 65% of the time, and you don't have a running back that you fear that can go to the house like a Saquon, then it's easier for the defense to fight and harder for the quarterback. So my point being is we're asking Dak to do a lot more than what others. There are very few times that you have the leading passer winning the Super Bowl. And even with Pat Mahomes' numbers have kind of come back down some, and the running game is actually a little more prolific, along with their defense is a great defense. Please send my winnings to Linda or another Bird fan. Lovely Linda. Linda actually won a shirt, but she never sent me her address for me to go ahead and get Miss Tracy to make it. I don't know that I can autograph a shot glass, Terrence, but I'll do something for you, Terrence. I'll figure out something. Oh, I can autograph the football. I can autograph that I can autograph for you, Terrence. I'll do that. Okay. All right, Terrence, I will tell Linda, you are a winner, chicken dinner. Hit the like button. Thank you, Frank. Bobby Schumer, Dak writing checks, his R's can't cash again. You know what? I'm going to say this one, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby. Is that my buddy, Bobby B? I would rather have somebody have some confidence than to be, I'm just happy to be here. I'm just happy to get my check for $60 million. I set goals for myself. I want to do things. And here's the thing that's kind of crazy is football is crazy. You know, when you won your first Super Bowl, Eagle fans, Clint, I think that's KLIN and then 6198. I can say whatever. I can make excuses for whatever I want to make. It's my channel, and I'll cry if I want to, buddy. If I want to make an excuse and an argument for my quarterback, I certainly will. Because you know what's kind of funny? You know what's funny is I saw this thing just before I got on here. Quarterbacks against the blitz. Because we always talk about Dak just sucks. He sucks, man. He's the worst quarterback out there. It's kind of funny how best quarterback against the blitz over the last 5 years is Josh Allen. The second best, it's not Pat Mahomes. It's not Jalen Hurts. It's Dak Prescott. Trench work. I don't give a rat's ass about preseason, bro. The only thing I want for preseason, get some work in and get out healthy. Because I've seen, you know what I've seen? I saw the old ball coach with the Commanders go to Osaka, Japan against the 49ers and win like 53-3. Slaughtered their asses to the point where they were like, yo, what the hell are you doing? It's your James Snyder. Tell your girlfriend I said happy birthday. And James, you better be doing something extra nice for your girl there, man. You better be taking care of business for her birthday. Her birthday is the same birthday as my dad who passed. I'm sorry, it just brought me back down. Yes, you do, Mark. I've seen almost every day since preseason start talking about it. That's a good cop out for an upcoming loss. You can guarantee it. I love story time, though. What do you mean? What are you trying to say? No, preseason. It doesn't matter. What preseason is it should be a tool to let you get some work done and figure out how good players are. Are they good enough that they can start for me or play valuable minutes? Do I need to look and get some more help on my roster? It's a tool. You can go 4-0. You can go 4-0 in preseason and go 0-16 like the Detroit Lions did. Oh, but back to Osaka. That team that blew out San Francisco 53-3 won 5 games the next year. And the battle cry for Steve Spurrier was, well, if we just get back to playing like we did in Osaka, we'll be okay. He literally thought that preseason and how they performed meant something. It doesn't. It doesn't. And here's where I'm going to say I like something that Brian Schottenheimer is doing. And that is, and he's admitted, like Jerry Jones admits, I'm just here to make your lives miserable because I can. And it makes me more money. I changed my name, Mark. Okay, but it is Bobby B, right? Thomas Garrett. What's up, Thomas? Crazy Corvette. How you doing? Shout out to everybody that's in the house, man. I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I like the fact that he's saying, listen, basically we're a mystery. Nobody knows what we're going to come out with. That's a little bit of an advantage. Why would I change that up? Why would I change it up? Exactly. Why would you change that up? And so people thinking that what we did last week when we didn't play any of our starters, 0 starters. If it proved anything is we need more help on our depth. That our second tier guys need more work. I'm not going to say we don't. Running game didn't look too bad, though. Rocket Joe does make you kind of question that we gave up draft capital and maybe makes you wonder, maybe we could have kept Cooper Rush? Miss Gibson, my birthday was Tuesday, 8/12. Happy birthday to Miss Gibson. Whoa. Damn, sorry we missed your birthday on Tuesday. So what are you, 23 now, Miss Gibson? 30 cents, yes. That's actually a huge advantage. That's what I'm saying. And see, this is where the Eagles don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. Now, Brian Schottenheimer said, we want to run the football. We want to run the football. We're going to run the football. I've led the league before in running the football as an offensive coordinator. We want to run the football. Okay. Would it surprise you if the Cowboys, having George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and Kayvon Turpin and Jalen Tolbert, if he's not traded, came out and Fergalicious came out slinging the rock, going deep on play one to try and silence the crowd? Wouldn't surprise me any. It would not surprise me if we got CD and George Pickens going deep, play one. You don't have first teams besides CD, George Pickens, Dak as a backup. Clint, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. There's no backup quarterback that's had over 35 TD passes in a season, not once but twice. There's no backup quarterback that just 2 years ago was runner-up MVP and got robbed because he should have been MVP. Sorry, backup who's on the precipice of having every Cowboys passing record except interceptions. Sorry, you're full of shit. Okay? Now, full of shit. I went on the Dan Saleo show because that's what I do. Because, I don't know. I guess I can't believe I'm going to admit this shit. I'm going to admit this, but I actually like Dan Saleo. It was crazy because the way that we got introduced was Eagle fans were coming in joking on me because Dan Saleo's saying, who the hell is Mark Holmes? I've never heard of Mark Holmes. Who the hell? Who cares what that guy says? And I was like, I don't know. I was thinking in my mind, who the hell is Dan Saleo? And why is he talking about me? And that's why I went over on the show to watch it, and he's going off and stuff, and so I'm commenting. And then Eagle fans like, oh, he's here. Yeah, he's here. Put him on. And he was kind of like, what? There is none, Buddy Ford. There's no news on Micah Parsons other than Jerry Jones stirring the shit up and basically saying he's under contract. And I'll get to Micah Parsons in a second. Let me finish off with Dan Saleo. So they sent me a link and I went on and it was cool. It was cool. I actually kind of enjoy the conflict. Oh, that's Xander. That's actually Xander is the brains of the organization there, okay? It's actually Xander's company. And you noticed the Kango hat, or was it me talking about the Kango? No meltdowns this year. It's not worth it, Mark. Oh, no. We're going to have some meltdowns. We always have meltdowns, bro. I'm going to have some. You week 1, there's going to be a meltdown, either me or Philly 500 or maybe even both, okay? That shit's going to be crazy. Appreciate you, Bobby. But I went on there expecting to just get beat down. The Cowboys, you're a joke with Micah Parsons and your owner. And here it is. I haven't been paying attention to what's going on with the Eagles. I'll be real with you. I've only been going by what you guys, the Eagle fans, have been saying about your team. That, you're the greatest team in history. That, like Leo, there's no doubt that we're going to repeat and we're going to three-peat. And so I've been going by what you guys have been saying, how great you are. Jalen Hurts is the best quarterback in the NFL. Saquon is ready to rock and roll. We're healthy. We're doing great things. And it's just like, we ain't got a chance. We ain't got a chance. But then it was Dan Saleo who actually made me feel like, okay, maybe there's a chance that maybe the Eagles have some problems. I mean, look at Philly 500's bitter beer face. Look at the bitter beer face. So I want to play a little bit of this because he filled me in that the Eagles secondary sucks ass.
Sorry.
No, this is where Mark, I'm going to tell you something here.
Check this out.
You tell me if I see this number. If they start that Keely Ringo out there at corner, I think Dak's going for 300 and north of 300 yards, and I'm going to tell you why. Because here, I have record that shows this ain't a playoff game. So you can take the playoff conference.
It's not a playoff game.
It's not.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. This is not a playoff game. This is a regular season game. True. That guy's thrown for 458 yards against that football team in the past.
Ooh.
That guy's thrown for an average of 310 yards in every start that he's played as a start.
So who's their third receiver?
They got two.
Jalen Tolbert,
who's your second?
Turpin.
Wait, who's your second corner, Philly?
Ooh.
Well, whoever the second corner is going to be on Tolbert, right? Because you figure CeeDee Lamb's in the slot. I got Cooper DeJean on him. If Pickens is outside, I'm going to put Q on him. So that would leave my worst corner with their worst receiver.
I'll bet that match line up CD out wide.
If they're smart, but I'll tell you what, I'll take that too. Because then you're taking him out of his best position.
Okay,
he can't
I gotta tell you, I think the Cowboys are going to, and this is what Gary Cobb was out there at camp. He saw CeeDee Lamb out wide, and I think CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. The Eagles don't have a second cornerback. The guy that they had that was earmarked, Keely Ringo. Hey, get this. You ready for this one, Mark? He was first team 2 weeks ago, and in a matter of 2 weeks, he's not taking one rep with the first team, the second team. Now he's on the third team. They don't have a second corner.
Good.
I mean,
good.
And in the first 4 games, you've got Dak, you've got Mahomes, you've got Stafford, and you've got Mayfield. What do they all have in common? Dak has great regular season games, and this is the opener. Mahomes has won Super Bowls, and you have Stafford, who's won a Super Bowl, and you have Mayfield, who's owned the
Philly looks a little uncomfortable
Eagles
there
the last 3 games. So, I mean, if they don't figure that out.
The problem with this is that the Eagles will figure out how to give the other corner help because Dallas.
Watch him deflect.
If you know a team's going to pass, and can't run the ball, I think that it's going to hurt you.
This is true. Okay, I will say this is true. But here's the problem that you have that you haven't really had with the Cowboys before is you actually have speed. If they end up using Kayvon Turpin, he has a lot of speed that you can use in the slot. and having George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, you basically have two number one guys. You have to either one of those two guys can kill you. Now, I think that the Cowboys, the advantage that they actually have right here, and I'm going to say, I think Brian Schottenheimer is playing this wise, is they are not showing anything. It is a big mystery as to what they're going to come out. And the Cowboys' strength, of course, is going to be passing the football. Our running game, I don't know what's going to become of it. We all get excited about what happens in training camp, but that's not real football until you actually get on the field. Cowboys are going to have to throw the football, and it's going to be Dak's arm, and that's going against the weakness of your defense.
Well, and it's a weakness. You guys act like that we have no good secondary guys. Come on, it's kind of ridiculous.
Watch him deflect.
Look, I have to agree with Mark on one thing about that.
Here we go.
He's really not that great of a quarterback. I agree with Mark on that, okay? Because Mark is correct. He's not good enough to take a team that Jerry Jones put 12 wins 3 straight years. He put a team that could win 3 straight 12-win seasons, and he couldn't take them any further than that. So I think he's really not that great of a quarterback, because a good quarterback would take him deep into the playoffs. And I think we have to think about Jerry Jones and the fact that maybe Jerry Jones is saying, why did I pay this quarterback gigantic money?
And what did that have to do with the question we asked?
Job done when I give him the talent of a 12-win team 3 straight years. And so then you're telling me I got to be scared of him passing week 1? I don't think so.
Let me give you one little argument here, little tad, okay? Over the course of the last 5 years, if we look at the quarterbacks that are in the NFC,
this is my statistics here.
Dak Prescott has had an average 270 yards passing a game. Okay? The next closest is Sam Howell at 228 yards. Carson Wentz had 218. Jalen Daniels, 209. The problem with the Cowboys is they have been one-dimensional. And the thing is, much like with Tony Romo, you either win with Dak or you lose with Dak. You're not a balanced team. And in the NFL, you must be balanced. I'm sorry. It's the truth. If you become one-dimensional, it becomes harder.
Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. Tony Romo, I do remember meeting you in Stanton because I was going through and picking up stuff at the courthouse for the Red Brick House. Nice to see you on here. You better be scared. Now, listen, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say, we're going to beat the Eagles. Then we're going to kick their teeth in. No. Bro, let's be real here. We have an incredibly tough task going on the road to Philadelphia, which is always a hard place to play, playing a division foe after they just won the Super Bowl. They just won the Super Bowl. And they're going to be dropping the banner. But if you watch that, and go back and watch the video from it, he goes into it, their offensive line, basically both of their guard. I mean, we know that Dickerson is probably not going to play. It's pretty much the Eagles are pretty much accepting the idea that he is not going to play. And I believe the other guard is nicked up as well. So their offensive line may not be as stout as usual, okay? And their defense has 7 new starters. They got problems with their safety and their corners. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say the Cowboys got a chance or we got the advantage. No, I'm not going to say that. But I feel a little bit better about this game, understanding the dynamics of what's going on in Philadelphia. I just do. And, you guys can yuck it up and tell me that, I'm stupid. That's fine. Hey, nobody really knows. Now, Dan's thing was, Mark, what you should be doing is being confident and saying, we're going to win, we're going to win. And then if the Cowboys win, then you can jump down and say, see, I told you. But, no, I'm going to say we still have a chance. And here's what I'm also going to say. I've seen it happen before. See this guy right here? That guy, Joe Boo. After the Giants won their last Super Bowl, the New York Giants the NFL used to go and do their kickoff with a community build. The community build was in Harlem. We had Charles Haley was there. Charles was there. And we were working on a community playground. We ended up building a climbing wall and lockers and, doing planting and everything else. In fact, I have a picture of me and Charles Haley both climbing the climbing wall to test it. Okay? And we went to the season opening game, Giants and Cowboys. I was in the end zone about 10 rows up. And in that game was the banner drop for the New York Giants. And the Dallas Cowboys were the sacrificial lamb. And I remember the statistics how literally, the home team after winning a Super Bowl was like, 100%. But in that game, a game that Tony Romo threw what should have been a pick six, but Tyron Smith stopped him on the 3-yard line. My defense made a goal line stand. And the Dallas Cowboys won that game. That was the Super Bowl champions' first game at home. So I've seen it happen. Dak is currently ranked 24th official NFL rankings and is only rated 83 in the new Madden game. You know what's funny? Ghostface Gaming. I remember when Deshaun Watson was rated as the 5th best player in the NFL and the next year couldn't do shit. I've seen Justin Herbert, who they always talk about. Justin Herbert's great quarterback. He's like a top 5 quarterback. And that guy chokes in the playoffs. Ratings don't mean shit. I will say that the Philadelphia Eagles, when they won the Super Bowl in 2017, the year before, they were the last place team in the division. Worst to first. And guess what? I remember when Kyler Murray was one of those top quarterbacks out there. But guess what? Shit changes real quick. And those ratings, they can't keep power rankings from one week to the next. You remember San Francisco, I believe, was number 2 going into last year's power rankings. They sucked so bad, they drafted ahead of us. Now that's suckage because we sucked. Holly Pierce, what's up, Holly? We might go for Riley, the quarterback from Penn State, just to create space for Dak at Joe Boo. Are we already giving up on Milton? Are we already giving up on Milton that we traded for? Jay Smooth, Baker Mayfield trash too. Well, Baker Mayfield did pretty good against the Eagles, but I'm just going to say, Dak is a real jackass. That cause Dak doesn't have a good coach. No Cowboy player does well with terrible coaches. Garrett McCarthy. Should I go on? There you go. See, people don't look at that stuff. BCMO, I don't know who it is because this whole thing is just kind of played with my mind. Asman 30. We need to take the entire T to pinks. Okay. When's the last time Dak had a good coach? In the NFL, he's never had one. Do you look at Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett and say that those are great coaches? Like a Harbaugh? Do you do that? I don't think I do. I don't think I look at that. I hope Brian Schottenheimer is good. Now, I didn't talk about everything but what I really wanted to talk about, and that was how do we feel about the Cowboys after training camp? How do we feel about the coaching staff? How do we feel about what we've seen thus far? I can tell you right now, I'm going to give an F to Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones, who we found out had, stage 4 melanoma cancer and beat it, is now beating us all over the heads because he can. And I'm going to say, Jerry Jones, you stink. And he probably will eat that up because I think he's like the Emperor in Star Wars, that he just loves the hate and the anger. Give me your anger, boy. That's Jerry Jones. He feeds off of that shit. And we've been feeding him because we've been letting him play with our emotions. So he gets an F. You get an F. An F you, Jerry. because you messed up my psyche. I was excited as can be for this season, but you couldn't let us enjoy ourselves, having like the honeymoon with Brian Schottenheimer, being happy about having George Pickens. Oh, no. You had to come in and fuck it all up. I'm sorry, Dad. I apologize, Dad. I'm sorry. You had to mess it up, Jerry, with your bull crap with Micah Parsons. And nothing hurt more than seeing Micah Parsons there leaning, looking sad. I don't know what Jerry thinks he's accomplishing. I don't really believe that he believes he's making the team better, but it stinks. Now, Cowboys have a dangerous offense. That I think. Now, it's all going to be dependent on, I really think, the left tackle. We went into training camp saying the most important player on the Dallas Cowboys. Leo, I was talking about you earlier, man. I was talking about you because, see, you're one of those, we are the Philadelphia Eagles. There is no weakness. There is nothing that anybody can do. We are giants of the world. Do I have there's a KFC. There's a KFC. There's a Popeyes. If you go to Stanton, there's a Bojangles. Well, you need some chicken? Jerry really likes the hype. That's why the Cowboys are the only team that come on the Cowboys chat just to hate like Jerry Jones. Yeah, this is true. And it's funny because, did I miss it? Did they sign Terry McLaurin since yesterday? Isn't that one ugly too? Ain't nobody saying anything about it. Someone needs to be the backup for the Cowboys. Yeah. Joe Milton, Mark texts Dak tonight. What are we? Eagles Drew. Mark, I got my package. Thank you, sir. Your excellent work. Salute you. Next time, smile on the picture you put up there, Drew. Smile. Be happy. You're a Super Bowl champion. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You got the Mad Magazine shirt. Oh, shit. Yeah, I can see you wearing that on one of the streams. I remember Jerry Jones brought the Cowboys with a handshake. Yeah, and $140 million. Will Greer should be the backup. And I think that's where Shotty's kind of like, yeah, we're not committed just yet. We're going to evaluate a little bit more. Squeeze the chicken. I have not been choking the chicken. Oh, the chicken is actually at my house. I'm afraid to because I think the chicken gave the Eagles extra mojo. We have $7 fill-ups. Milton is garbage like Lance, and they can't win games like Cooper Rush did. Milton won't win any games. Ghostface Gaming, I'm not ready to give up on him just yet. But I will say we haven't had a lot of luck with trades too much. I hope George Pickens is the one that changes it. Because, Trey Lance, that was waste of some money and a 4th-round pick. Jonathan Mingo, I hope that, he's turning it around because that was a 4th-round pick. Joe Milton, he's got to learn some touch. Dak and Cousins are friends with pick sixes. You know what's crazy? You know what's funny? This is so funny because Dak Prescott had the pick six like 3 days ago in practice, right? And everybody's covering it. Oh my God, Dak Prescott. You know what's funny is Dak has only had in padded practices, all training camp, 2 interceptions. That's it. You see those clips of J.J. McCarthy having 6 and 7 in practice, in one practice? Dak's had 2 interceptions. Good night, Tony Romo. Dak won't be playing tomorrow. They've already announced that Joe Milton will be playing the whole game unless he gets injured. Go away, Leo. Laugh out loud. Shout out to Jay Smooth. But we cover it like every throw that he was doing was an interception. Clearly, there's a difference here. Now, I heard, Mark, let's get permits to build a pink. Oh, Jerry's World. From what I heard about Eagles practice, that the pass rush should have been sacking Jalen Hurts if you could have actually touched the quarterback left and right. And even the Kango kid, Xander, trying to, act like he's LL Cool J. I forgot what was the term he used on one of the worst interceptions he's ever seen. I mean, I think it was like a cornhole and interception. I can't remember what it was. I have to go back to their show and watch it. Dallas' corners are trash. Yes, Eagle Drew, but they'll get better as the season goes on, as we start getting players back. But, those who live in glass houses, Eagle, Drew, shouldn't cast a stone because your secondary is looking like some ass, according to Dan Saleo and crew. Just saying. They talking about your shit look bad. Do you think Micah will play the first 3 games? Here's what I think about Micah Parsons. Okay, let's do a little math here, okay? So, Micah Parsons is, come on, get out of the way, okay, is $24 million, right? $24 million is his salary if he doesn't get another contract, right? Divide that by 17 games, okay? 17 games. That is $1.411 million a game. A game. And let me pull this up real quick. Let's see. I want to see if I can find out his compensations. In past years, how it broke down. Okay, let's see. So his original contract. So to give you an example, his base salary in 21 was $600,000. His cap hit was $3.1 million. In 22, his cap hit was 3.8. Now, granted, he did get a check for $17 million signing bonus, okay? He got that signing bonus to start with. In 23, his salary was his cap number, $4.6 million. And last year, it was $5.4. So we're talking about $1.4 million a game. Do you think he's going to miss that? Okay. Listen, I won't practice until I actually have to. My back is tight. Okay, I'll work out. I'll play in that game, and then my back will tighten up, and I'll take the $1.4 million. Keep hearing notification sound goes off. Is that the guitar? Oh, you know what? That's probably my. You know what? That's actually my phone. I think when I turned the system off, the Wi-Fi. Uh-oh, we got a third member. Mun2480. Who the hell is Mun2480? I'm just curious. I don't know because they changed this up. Make sure all of you 3 new channel members email. Let me put it in here. Cowboys Mark 94@gmail.com. Okay? Email me that with your address so that way I can get you your shot glass and your squeeze football. Appreciate you guys becoming members. Now I forgot what I was talking about. Getting old and crazy. But yeah, I still think we got a chance. I think we got a chance. Maybe not a great chance, and maybe we get blown out. Mark Holmes, Jobu Sports Report. You're jealous because you know whatever our identity shorts coming are, you know Howie is actively looking to address the best way he can improve the team. You can't even begin to know how that feels with JJ at the helm. You're preaching to the choir. We all know that the way you win these days is being a super team. It's not by doing more with less like Jerry Jones does. I mean, that's I can't be mad at you for doing what works and that my team is stupid and doesn't. So I do have to play this because Marcus Spears is hilarious in this. Ron Mack, hi there, everybody. Mark in the chat, in the standings. I'm going to get to this before we roll out of here because I feel Marcus Spears because I know exactly what he means when you say, man, we're going to suck. You get Cowboy fans that beat you up. How dare you, man? You're not a real fan. You know, you're not believing. It's like, bro, take a look at the shit that my owner's doing, man. Look, we lost 9 starters. We ain't replaced anybody, man. We're going to have to thread the needle and get a whole hell of a lot of luck. You're full of shit, man. I'm going to stop watching. It's like y'all don't want to hear the truth.
Chatting about it all morning, obviously, because it's a hilarious quote. Here's Jerry Jones at the Netflix premiere of the documentary. Run it, Foxy.
Well, I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The beautiful thing for networks or, if you will, streaming companies is that the NFL is a 365-day-a-year interest factor. A lot of programming, you have to spend as much to make it, to promote it, as you do to make it. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365
The
days.
streaming will begin
When it gets slow,
Talking
I'll start
over
Please take your seats.
And so
guy's talking over Jerry.
it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion. And if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
The more bullshit, the better.
The more bullshit, the better.
That is good. So all anybody ever says, Swagoo, and you know this because obviously you've been in there, it's hard enough to win a game, right? That's what everybody talks about. So now the owner's coming out and actually giving away his game, and he says, hey, my game is that the controversy's good now. Let's not get this crazy. What are they talking about? Cowboys. Okay, so we take a 20, 30, 40, $64 million hit on salaries that we could have paid earlier. You know how much money we're gaining in valuation on the other side? Shit, $150 million. So you start doing the math, all of a sudden we're up $90 million. Who's smart? Me? They're dumb. But are you going to ever win that way? Are you ever going to win that way? Is this something that we all kind of thought about Jerry, but then once he says it, it's like, okay, so this has been the plan. And does it worry you that potentially you're never going to be able to win like that?
Pat, yes, because your value as a player is tied into success, bro. Like that is the awful part about what Jerry said. Yeah, you getting your money and everybody understands what you've done to promote this brand and build it. But to say that loud and in public is, Pat, you know this. I've been screaming that the Cowboys ain't trying to win the Super Bowl. And people in Dallas can't stand when I say it. Because they act like I'm lying, like I'm supposed to live in this fantasy
Shout
world.
out to Alan Williams,
We doing what it takes to win.
Thank you, man.
The blueprint is out there of how you try to win the Super Bowl. And Jerry just told everybody, yeah, it's great to have the great players and all of that, but there's more.
Sizzle. There's a sizzle.
We not even focused on football. That's what he just said. Yeah. He said, look, yeah, we got Dak and we got CD and we got all these great players, but there's more there. Bro, we talking about football, full stop. Like there's not supposed to be more than winning and putting the best team on the field and making sure your star players are paid and you got everybody on the field. It is clarity for anybody that was on the fence about what's important in Dallas. And it's super unfortunate for players. And Pat, this is what I always say. What the hell are the coaches supposed to do
with
that?
Yeah, I started thinking about like Mike McCarthy there, his entire run. How'd they win that many games? This entire thing. And then you think about Shoddy. Like, I think Shoddy's going to be a good coach. I think Shoddy's going to be a good coach. I got a chance to meet him. Obviously, he's literally his entire life in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying that means he's going to be great at being a head coach, but from what I've seen from him, I think he would be a great head coach personally.
Pat, imagine this. Imagine you coaching. This is Shoddy. Imagine you coaching in the NFL for 25 years, waiting on your opportunity, and the owner of the team that you the head coach says, winning ain't that damn important.
Yeah. Controversies, what we're, little reality TV. I don't know if you know that.
More money, bro.
Money, all right, you.
Get out of here. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because I get my ass.
I'm not surprised. I am not surprised either. And that's what we're fighting here. Jerry Jones, how crazy is it that the Eagles go out, sign player after player after player, and every year we get focused in on getting one big name player re-signed. And we have all these pieces that we need some help and stuff with, and we don't get anything done. We are always reactive when it comes to our team instead of proactive. And it all starts with Jerry Jones. When we talk about the culture, and there's a problem with the Cowboys, the culture is Jerry. Yes, and I know you Eagle fans hope Jerry lives for another 10,000 years. Shout out to Alan Williams. I appreciate the super chats there. And the last one, got to get that first place, laugh it out. Jerry is an attention-seeking man-child idiot. You are 100% right on that one. And tomorrow is game day. Cowboys versus the Crab Cakes, the Ravens. No free agents wanted to come there. Derrick Henry did. Bobby Wagner did. Von Miller did. You got guys that want to come for the Cowboys so that way they can end their career with a chance to get into the booth. But it is what it is. But we have less than 3 weeks, people. Less than 3 weeks until we take on the Philadelphia Eagles. And today, I, in fact, got a little bit of hope. So, tomorrow, I may stream some of the Eagles game. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure. I might. But definitely will be here for the Cowboys game. And as always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. On your way out, make sure you hit the like button. I'm turning out the lights. This party's over. Oops, wrong one.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.